I am working on embroidering my son's sweatshirt for his birthday party this weekend. I'm also going to do one for his dad and I. So we're doing blaze. This is the design I'm doing on the front. I got this off of Etsy. I'm going to leave the link below. And then this is my first time doing an applique. And I did a number 5, and I got this off of Etsy as well. So the plan is I use this fleece-like fabric because it's very similar to what the sweatshirt is like. So the plan is to have the blaze on the front, and then to have his name and the number 5 underneath. And then for mom and dad, I'm just going to put mom and dad on the back with 5 underneath. And then, of course, the blaze on front. And then the blaze on the mom and dad sweatshirt is going to be bigger. So I'm going to bring you guys a little closer so you can see that. You can see the design. It turned out really good. I had some issues with my machine because you guys know I was doing the market and I used this in glow-in-the-dark thread, but it got caught up in the top part and also the bottom. So that's something I would be more aware of. So I'm going to need to rethread the machine, but I'm going to bring you in closer so you can see the design. Okay, so I'm all set up and ready to go. I'm making sure that my design is lined up to where I want it to be. Definitely want it this way because I want the truck to go this way because it's where the hood is at. So always make sure you have it lined up. I'm using the PE800 Embroidery Machine. But yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but we'll get to the back in a little bit. But I'm gonna use the fire and the inside. I feel like that's like the whole blaze theme. But I'm gonna put this water stabilizer on top, and then I'm gonna show you guys how it stitches out. Working on this wheel right there. It's always really good to do a practice piece first because you never know how the stitch is going to lay out, especially if you've never done this design before or if you haven't used that material. So every time I do a new project with a new design that I have not stitched out before, I always do a practice stitch just to make sure that the design that I purchase, especially when I buy off of Etsy or any other place that's not on the machine. I mean, I think it's good practice no matter what, but sometimes things can stitch out differently and you don't want to use your actual piece to try to put this down on, and you know, it doesn't line up perfectly, you know, or there's other things that can kind of go wrong with it. I did see a couple jump stitches that I didn't get cut really well. So because it's the thread is so thick and it's so many stitches, it's like over, yes, 31,592 stitches. So what I'm going to do differently is after each section, I'm going to cut all the jump stitches and then start it over again with a new color thread versus trying to wait to the end because you really can't get them all. And there's a couple pieces where I can tell, especially on the red car where I see some of the black thread, and even in some of the wheels where I see some of the thread that could have been cut sooner. You definitely have to baby your stuff. Don't, you know, let it go, because the last thing you want is this thing to get caught up in something. Or I don't think it's going to go past the stabilizer, but if it happens to, I'm able to stop it really quickly and put some stabilizer down there to prevent that from happening. I also wouldn't do this stitch on a t-shirt I just feel like the material, just the thread is just too thick. But for like a sweatshirt, something heavy, a towel, I think this would be great for that because the material can like hold it up really well. But I think this looks really good. I'm super excited. Let's see, finished those two wheels in the back. These two, and now it's working on the top two up there. This is what we're looking like so far. I'm going to cut a couple of these jump stitches so the red doesn't like pile on top of it and you won't see the gray. But it's looking pretty good. Where the machine is working at, where the red dot, well, the green dot is at. The red dot is center, and the green X or whatever is showing you where the needle is at. And of course, this picture here is showing what it's working on, which is the red in the tires. So it's doing the red in the tires right now. You can probably see my jump stitches I didn't cut, but here I went ahead and cut all the jump stitches. That way you won't see them on the actual design. It's really cool to kind of watch this come into shape. But as I'm doing this, I'm actually working on my website, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So I am adding product, and right now I'm counting the inventory of my headbands. I know there's lights in the way, so it's kind of hard to see. But I have all my headbands right here, and I'm just counting each color to make sure that I put the correct number that I have available, as well as the size. So keep an eye out for when this website goes live, and I'll definitely let you guys know on YouTube to keep a look for that. But yeah, I'm going to get back to counting and adding more stuff to my website. And next time you guys come back, you'll see more of this being embroidered out, the car part of Blaze. He's starting to form shape. So this is what it's looking like so far. I'm getting ready to add some different colors to it now to kind of bring Blaze to life. So now it's working on finishing up the wheels and a couple parts of the car. And what this does just kind of makes the wheels pop and give it like a 3D effect to it. A little tip outside of doing a little tester piece is always have your thread that you're going to use available on the side. I do have my thread holder over here with all my different threads, but I like to have the thread that I'm using for the project already pulled so I don't have to try to search for it, especially when I'm doing multiple threads. So this is kind of like just a little tip I wanted to give anybody else who is starting out with embroidery. Have your thread ready to go. Have a little basket beside you with the stuff you use often, little scissors, screwdrivers, tweezers, all those things are really helpful just to have it there, because I hate having to go and look for things. Yep. This is how it's looking. I'm so excited. This is looking so good. I definitely worked out the kinks and figured out what I need to do to make this design better. You can see how it's stitching out now. We're at the last portion of it. It's just doing all the outline in black. This kind of makes all the little details kind of pop. Well, this is such a great way to personalize shirts for your child's birthday party that they can wear for a longer period of time. It doesn't cost you as much. I don't know how much this would cost, but I had a hard time finding like Blaze kind of stuff for his birthday, so doing something like this just made it a little bit easier. Bring that theme in. There's a lot of stitching left to do. Let's see. It has to do that whole outline. It's about 35 minutes left. Alright, y'all. So this is my second attempt on my sun sweatshirt. The first one, oh my gosh, we were at this final stage where we're just doing the black outlining on a sweatshirt, and what happened was the hoop somehow was not attached to the machine, and it just went downhill from there, and it really wasn't no saving it because the embroidery thread just sewed so tightly, and it was doing the black outline all over the wrong spots. But right now it's doing really good. I have these clips to help keep the sweatshirt peeled back. I also have pins to keep the water stabilizer, the clear part, down. It's pinned all the way around. I did buy this one from Old Navy. The other one my other sweatshirt came from Amazon, but Amazon don't deliver overnight. That's where I am at. I have to wait at least 2 or 3 days to get my Prime. But let me show you my sweatshirt that I did for myself. This is the one I did for myself. I had to switch red threads because I did not like the red thread, so I did have a lot of puckering over here. This is a very dense design. I need to run this to the wash real quick to get all this water stabilizer off, but the back is pretty thick. I would prefer to use tearaway stabilizer versus a pillow stick for this, but I would like to have the stabilizer that's a little bit softer and nicer on the skin, especially for like t-shirts. So if you have any suggestions for that, let me know. I need to look those up. But I do think overall Blaze looks pretty good. And it's looking really good over here. So that's all that matters. But yeah, the clips are very helpful. The pins are helpful. Watching your machine, you have to babysit this, hun. Don't go out there and start washing laundry and whatever. I mean, unless your sewing machine's in the laundry room, I don't know. But I would be very like mindful of what's happening, because after that I've been like staring at this. This design takes about an hour and a half. The other one takes about 2 hours to do, 2.5 hours to do. So yeah, lots of sitting, lots of cutting threads, lots of changing colors, but it looks really good, and my son is really happy and excited for us all to have the same sweatshirt for his birthday party. So for me, that's all that really matters, that he is happy. I'm gonna be back when this design is completely done, and then we're gonna do the applique on the back. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. I almost forgot I was doing a video. So I did the name first, but I did a base stitch. So the first stitch is just like an outline of 5, and then I measured the outline of the 5, and then I cut the fabric over top of that, and then what it does is another stitch over top of this, and then the next one is what's going to make the look like an applique. I just cut it out from this little fire fabric. So now I'm going to take it off the hoop and cut around it, and you'll see it. So hold on one second. So you can see the outline of the 5. So this is the same stitch that it did on the fabric, and then what I did was just laid this piece of fabric on top, and it did the same base stitch all around it. And now what I'm going to do is cut as closely as possible to this dotted line without like cutting into the 5, and everything that you see that's inside this 5 is what's going to be shown. And yeah, so that's how you do the little applique. Super easy and simple. I thought this was so hard to do. Like when I would see appliques, like, oh my gosh, it's so challenging. I didn't want to do it. But once I figured out how to do it, I got mad at myself. Like, why have I not done this sooner? It's so easy. So this is such a great way to add a little more personal touch to your child's birthday outfits or whatever that you want to do. When you're finished cutting around, it should look like this. I use these scissors to help me cut, especially because this one has that little indentation, so you want to make sure you have something with curves to kind of get around these little curved areas, and it gets you really close without like tearing up your stuff. And also you want them to be sharp too, that can cut through fabric. Okay, so now we're going to put this on the hoop. Oh, I didn't drop my scissors. So we can go to this next stitch here. So it does like kind of like a zigzag stitch all the way around it. And then it'll go to like a thicker stitch. I use this clear plastic water stabilizer so the stitches don't get lost, especially when I was doing like his name and the basing stitch, because when you have thick fabric like this, things can get lost. So now we're gonna see it kind of have that thicker look that you see applique. You guys see that? So it really does kind of hide those rough edges, which I like, and make the 5 really pop. And I chose to do red because I really thought that would look nice with the fire, but I probably could have done like an orange or a yellow or anything really. It looks really good. But yeah, I'll be back when I have all this done to show you the final look of this sweatshirt. Alright y'all, it's been a couple days since the birthday party, but I wanted to come and do like a video and not just show you pictures of the design. As you can see, the small one does pucker a little bit more. It's a lot of stitches. I think the small one was like 20,000 something stitches, and the larger one was over 30,000 stitches. So it's a lot. It's very dense. You have to use a lot of stabilizers, a lot of color changing. But I do think it turned out really well, and I'm very pleased with the design. It does take a really long time to do. So there's that. And these have been washed a couple times, so you can see how it looks after being washed. On the back, I have my son's name and then the 5, and I just used the fire fabric. The applique is super easy, and on the back of this one, I just brought the dad one out. I have dad, and then I have the 5 as well, and mine just says mom. That's the only difference. But yeah, this is a great idea to do for a birthday, matching birthday shirts for the whole family. Maybe if you're going to Disney, you can do a Disney themed one. So I hope you guys enjoy my little embroidery tutorial or sew with me. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll leave all the links to the designs that I used. I got the fabric from Joann's, so that's I don't know if they'll have it online, but if I find it, I'll link it. These sweatshirts came from Amazon. This one came from Old Navy, and I'll link those if I can find them down below as well. Thanks again. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.